shot by Buddha. Facebook gaming in the building.
Into the end zone! Five Nations, stand up!
Who is Chig? Chigazim Okonkwo. He's a tight end for the Tennessee Titans.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
I'm about to wrap that back to you because VR, I know you've been sitting down going through your notes trying to figure out how to come back in the booth after I was undefeated and 1,000% right. But I hate being so right about stuff. I hate being so right about stuff. I hate being so right. I hate being so right, man. Sometimes love is you is wrong. I don't want to be right. You know what I'm saying? Like I sometimes I don't. It feels so wrong. I don't want to be right. All right. So now that we got that out the way, Bloody, what up? Felipe. He said that game had like 3 to 4 pick sixes. Defense. We still calling it 87. It ain't never gonna not be 87. That's one of the most legendary clips of all time. Like I need to go back and get like top 10 shop like clips of all time. Like Rent Do saying I too once was a boy.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Life is Madden when he was slapping people in the back of the head. When Mel Montclair got drunk and I passed out on stream. Let's see. This block kick alleviates Coach said when he got beat in the obituary on the block. This one was for $1,000. So this one takes the cake. Bees guy, the curse of the bees guy. But it's so many clips over time that just made me cry laughing and stuff that happened. That was like, you know, 1 in a million type things that happened. Yeah, he done rapping, bro. I don't want to hear that shit. The booth is rigged. The booth is not rigged, bro. Y'all say the booth is rigged, but it's like, look, y'all get in the booth. I'll let y'all pick the weapon. I'll let y'all pick the arena we gonna fight in, and then I still like, y'all be doing all kind of stuff, dancing around, and then I just walk up and just hit y'all in the pressure point. Y'all fall over and die. That ain't my fault. You know what I'm saying? I make sure y'all don't hit the ground hard when y'all pass out. I make sure that, you know, my people make sure they nurse y'all back to health and get y'all wounds taken care of properly. This is no war crime. This is not an act of terrorism. We are sanitary and safe here. I lost my money bet on them last year. Nick, it's the month. Nah, it's the 87, bro. It's always gonna be 87. It's 87 because he was talking crazy to me, and then it happened. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's the 87. So if Month would have been talking trash to me in the screen and then it happened, and it would be the Month. But you know, like before that, it was the bees kick. Like before it's 87, it was that bees kick. Revolution doing the flying into the TV. What happened to Rev? Ohio State Buckeyes. Yeah, they won the championship. So what? Y'all was ready to fire Ryan Day before the season started. It's no way you can compare Ohio State and their history to Alabama. Now, I respect Ohio State, but guess what? Ohio State don't have 10 championships. Michigan and Notre Dame has more championships than y'all. So right now, y'all got y'all nose in the ass of Michigan and Notre Dame trying to catch them. Stop looking at the mountaintop. You need to worry about that little hill in front of y'all, not the mountaintop. The little hill in front of y'all. The hill is 10 championships. Once y'all get there, then you can start looking up at Daddy. You know what I'm saying, with Brad Bryan and Nick Saban, and then start to climb that other mountain. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all just going over a little hill. Then it's like Mount Everest and the Himalayas and shit. That's where we at. So Mount Shasta set a new record today. Hit 48 fast. Let's get the VR. That is not lies. That is the truth. That is the truth. I need my boy 87 to come back and redeem himself. He was talking so crazy. That's what made it to 87, because it was that bees kick before then. Remember we did the skit with that bees guy was sweating in his sleep and shit. Like, bro, we really did a lot with the booth, you know what I'm saying, over the years when people had bad mistakes. And that was like the curse of the bees kick going away was 87. So it's still 87. Mont just got bad luck. You know, Mont, how TGG was formed was Mont getting a Hail Mary thrown on him in the obituary. Mont would have won that obituary. That might have been like the first obituary I think Mont was going to win. And then he went on vacation after he spiked his controller. He couldn't even turn his Xbox back on when he got back off vacation. But that's another story. Tatted, what up? Wow, Nick. All right, so we went through that. Now I'm about to get to the topic of we about to get into the topic. Make sure y'all follow on all social media platforms. I did want to talk about that though, because YouTube Shorts surpassing TikTok is a big thing for people that's streaming on YouTube, for people that's making offline content on YouTube. And now that Shorts is showing you that like it's more than one way to skin a cat. You know what I'm saying? And put your content everywhere and give yourself a chance, because you may be struggling on one platform and there might be a platform out there that's in love with you. James Williams or Cedric Gray. I think it's a higher upside to James Williams, but Cedric Gray, like, I hope that he's not like his injury. I like his personality.
Let me teach you how to
but
vibe.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, that Colts game last year just got me scared. Like, we almost ought to be like hoping that either James Williams turns into like Kyle Hamilton or something, or that David Gabinda comes out of nowhere and it's like Wesley Woodyard or something. I don't know. Like, we in trouble. What you think, Calvin? Happy Taco Day, my dog loafing in the building. All right, so make sure y'all follow on all social media platforms. Y'all know on the late night I be on the green. We be in the purple. We be doing the DJ and stuff, like playing music and watching podcasts and streaming, playing games. We doing a lot. All right, but let's get into this topic, because Vincent Rivers, VR the God that thinks that the booth is rigged, wants to know who is Chig Okonkwo and why does the Titans need to keep him. All right, so let's rotate this back to the trade that just happened. If y'all ain't seen that video, it's up on YouTube. The Dolphins and the Steelers make a trade.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Like I said, I told y'all like over a month ago that I thought the Steelers would trade for Jonnu Smith. They wind up trading for Jonnu Smith. They get Jonnu Smith and they make a flip-flop. We were wondering where Jair and Jalen Ramsey was going to go. And here's Jalen Ramsey to the Steelers with Joey Porter Jr., with Big Play Slay. But I don't think anybody would have guessed that Minka would get sent back to the Dolphins, who are completely flat broke when it comes to money and with the way that their roster is set up financially right now. So, you know, Jonnu Smith was a tight end that came after the Delaney Walker era that was super fast, super athletic. Him and Marcus Mariota hit it off. Then he hit it off with being the tight end with A.J. Brown and Corey Davis. Winds up wanting a deal, but Derrick Henry's deal came at the same time. So the Titans gave Derrick Henry $12 million, and then Jonnu Smith got $12 million to go and go to the Pats. So it just winds up being a situation where we couldn't afford him at the time, and his contract was up, and they needed somebody to fill that particular role for the Tennessee Titans, which is like a speed tight end that can do speed sweeps, that can get out and play like a receiver with like a running back skills with the ball.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Look back at last year, Chig in the Texans game, dude has like a 80-90 yard completion, outruns the entire Texans defense. He literally is the fastest tight end in his draft class. So the Titans have filled a role that they couldn't afford to fill when the contracts came up. So now you have Chig again, who's been playing with subpar quarterback play the last couple years. Still, every year has been like second or third in receptions and receiving yards for the Titans, even not even being able to be fully utilized. If you don't think that's true, Jonnu Smith on the Dolphins last year, almost 1,000 yards receiving, 88 receptions, 8 touchdowns. That's super productive from a tight end role for an offense that likes to go tight end heavy. You got the number 1 pick, Cam Ward, coming in. You don't take a weapon like Chig away and put all your eggs in the basket for Gunnar Helm and Josh Wiley. Now, you hope that Gunnar Helm could turn into that inline tight end that we've been needing. That's really a pass catcher and a blocker that can play all downs. But, you know, banking on, you know, him and Josh Wiley and DMR, like some of the guys that's on the practice squad that play special teams, to fill that role without injury in an 18-week season, I just don't see it. So, like,
Let me teach
a
you
guy
how
like
to vibe.
Chig with Cam Ward could be a tight end that catches 900 yards, almost double-digit touchdowns, and I expect And so when you get, that type of production that can increase, a tight end, 75, 80 receptions, double-digit touchdowns, I just think he got the potential to do way more, and you get a compensatory pick if you don't re-sign him at the end of the season. I just don't see a reason to get rid of a weapon when you don't clearly have a replacement, and we'll be in this same cycle of trying to replace Jonnu Smith again, just like we finally found John who replaced Delaney. Like, you don't want to be in a situation in the NFL these days where you're trying to replace your tight end. You'd rather be like the Ravens and have Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. That's just my thought. That's my thought with the tight end situation. Jimmy Dukes, Coop, what up? Stephen B, comedy 2 times. For sure, Stat Man. I appreciate that. That's love. I like Cedric Gray, but he's not good at shedding the block. James Williams, they're pretty good in zone coverage. Great at tackling. I'm leaning on more. Yeah, I agree with you. Because I think James Williams is a converted safety, and we getting somebody to play stack backer. Ernest Jones was really the perfect person for the defense, but, situations happen. And can't go back. You can't go back and change that, but having a converted safety, if James Williams can tackle, but better in coverage, he would be more like Kenneth Murray. Kenneth Murray just got out of position a lot, but I think it's because he never had a solid person next to him. Put James Williams in a situation where he could be the coverage linebacker, but still tackle in space. I think he would be a better fit than Cedric Gray. Because, like, to me, Cedric Gray and Otis Reese is like the same player. But a guy like David Gabinda could come in and really grow into that spot. But that's the weakest Calvin, that's the weakest spot on the Titans defense is inside backer. Who gonna play that stack backer position? It's a lot of touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, I just wouldn't get rid of Chig though. Like, if we looking at Chig stats in the 3 years he been in Nashville, rookie year, 32 receptions, 450 yards, 3 touchdowns, 14 yards of reception as a rookie. That's not playing every down. 23, 54 receptions, 528 yards, 10 yards of reception, 1 touchdown. And then last year, 52 receptions, 479 yards, 10 yards per reception, and 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, this is a guy that I just think that every metric that he has is going to grow this year just by having solid quarterback play. I think those receptions go up to around 70 plus. I think the yards creep up to 600-700 yards, and the touchdowns double. In his career, he's averaged 10 yards of reception every year as a tight end. I just think being in this offense this year with Cam Ward, I think he's going to get a lot more opportunity. James Williams transition from safety to linebacker will be a challenge, though. Yeah, year one, you could really see the challenge, and he pretty much was a person that's really like the best he could do for us is special teams. So when you think about his size, though, and the way the game is changing, if you listen to Hook talk about, really doesn't matter if him or Xavier Woods with their experiences at free or strong, then you throw Kevin Winston Jr. in there. There might be some situations where you could move Kevin Winston Jr. into the box. You know what I'm saying? And you got between James Williams and Winston, like, they could learn that safety in the box role. But James Williams got the size to play inside backer, stack backer next to Barton, because Barton is a guy that's going to be in the middle. The guy I really liked at that position was Chance Campbell, but Chance Campbell could never stay on the field. So what if James Williams could convert and play into the role of where Chance Campbell was at before he got injured last year? That would be the perfect situation. That would be the perfect situation. Jeremy C, what up? And look, and when Darren Waller went to the Dolphins, that like was even more reason of like the Dolphins not trading for Chig. I think Jonnu Smith is gonna do well in Pittsburgh. I really do. I kind of see what they're trying to do. Don't think it's gonna work, but who am I to judge? At least they making moves, but we got to see what's gonna happen with T.J. Watt and Trey Hendrickson. They said the Tennessee Titans are out on trying to trade for either one of those guys, though. So, they must feel good about where they at, or they got other options that they're trying to go. TJ, what's good? Most people excited to see Cam Ward, but I'm ready to see the defense improvement. I believe that's going to determine a lot. I mean, honestly, the defense statistically was great last year up until Quandre Diggs going out and them starting to do a dumpster fire sale. I mean, Titans was at the top of the league statistically on defense the first 13 weeks, and then you start tanking and start trading people, and you know, Quandre Diggs out, Ernest Jones out, then we can't stop anybody from running the football at that point. I think the more so on the defense that I want to see. I want to see is L'Jarius Sneed gonna be healthy. I know what I'm getting Xavier Woods and Amani Hooker. I'm interested to see Kevin Winston in the times that he gets out there. I think Barton will be fine. I think up front they're gonna rotate. They got a better rotation up front. I'm interested to see Femi, because I mean, dude looks the part. Marcus Harris, Jamari Harris, which one of those young corners steps up with Cheeto being out of the way? You know, Roger Mack is solid, but he got them T-Rex arms, so you know it's gonna be interesting to see. I think they're building a more ambidextrous defense. They got guys that can play inside and out on the D line, at linebacker and at defensive back. But I am interested in seeing the defense. But if they don't fix that stack backer position, like, teams are going to run on us. All I could think about is the Colts and the Commanders game of them trap blocking Big Jeff and Sweat the whole game, and just running in, watching linebackers running into the back of T Sweat and Big Jeff. Like, T Sweat is taking two people and taking two blockers on, and a linebacker running into his back instead of filling the gaps. It was just crazy to watch that. You know what I'm saying? People was on Big Jeff about that game, but I'm like, he's getting double team and trap blocks, and people are not filling the gaps. So I mean, I'm interested to see. I'm a defensive minded person, so, but I mean, but the Cam Ward part is he don't have to be great. If Cam Ward just don't be like Mason Rudolph and Will Levis and lead the league in turnovers at the QB spot, like, the Titans offense is fine. You know, the first three weeks last year, we got double digit leads and guys just turning the ball over without unforced errors. You know what I'm saying? So Cam Ward is more talented. He's got a better head, a better arm. So let's see. All right. But that's why the Titans should not get rid of Chig, though. Because you got to think future. The Tennessee Titans, if you listen to what Bergonzi has said he wants to draft guys in the top 100 picks of people that he signs to a next contract and builds through the draft and development. So when you draft and develop one of the most athletic tight ends in the league that just has been underutilized, what's going to happen is if they don't sign him and they trade him, he's going to be just like Jonnu Smith is, one of the most productive tight ends in the league. And you're going to be having a hard time trying to replace that talent. Because if, let's say we traded him for like a 4th or 5th round pick, are we going to draft another tight end that's going to be more athletic and can do what he do? Probably not. You see what I'm saying? So like that's what I mean by like you shouldn't reach. Like I just don't think you should reach I just don't think you should start reaching. And like when you got young people, let's keep the young talent that's on the Titans. Like, let's stop drafting guys to send them to Baltimore and drafting guys to send them to the Eagles. Drafting guys like last year was the revenge tour. Khalif Raymond came back and torched us. Josh Reynolds played well for the Lions last year. The entire Chargers team, from Haskins to Tierra Tart, Bud Dupree, Elijah Mold and Christian Fulton all played good for the Chargers last year. All guys that we drafted and wound up going other places and really showing their talents. Jonnu Smith, a tight end that we drafted, being one of the most productive tight ends in the league last year. Like Derrick Henry, 2,000-yard season. Like all these guys that we draft and we let go places and ball. Can we draft them, line them, and develop them like the Chiefs and the Eagles do? Corey D, what up? Like that's why I don't think Chig should be going anywhere, man. Like especially with, like, if Cam Ward winds up like using him correctly, I could see Chig catching like 2 more passes per game than what he's getting now, just off of having a quarterback that's savvy enough to check it down. Will Levis and Mason Rudolph were awful checking the ball to backs and tight ends. I just think that was awful.